and welcome to Matching Brackets. Over the last few years, more and more Windows users have started asking the same question. Can Linux replace Windows? Maybe you've heard about Linux from a friend, watched a few videos, or you're simply curious because of changes you've seen in Windows. Whatever brought you here, you're probably wondering one thing. Can I still do everything I need to do if I switch to Linux? The short answer is, for many people, yes. But whether Linux can replace Windows for you depends on how you use your computer. Before we begin, I want to make one thing clear. This isn't a Linux versus Windows video. I believe there's room for both. My goal isn't to convince you to switch. It's to give you enough information so that you can make an informed decision about whether switching to Linux is right for you. So if you're in the mood to learn a little Linux, let's get started. Why people are looking at Linux. People switch to Linux for all kinds of reasons. Some want more privacy. Some want more control over their computers. Others have older hardware that no longer runs the latest version of Windows very well. And yes, some people simply don't like the direction Windows has taken in recent years. That certainly was true for me. Years ago, I wanted to stop using OneDrive on my Windows, but at the time I couldn't find a straightforward way to disable it. It felt like my computer was making decisions for me instead of letting me make them for myself, and that experience led me to explore Linux. Today, aside from my iPhone, every computer I use runs Linux. It works well for me, and I've never felt the need to go back. But my experience won't necessarily be your experience. That's why it's important to understand what Linux does well and where it still has limitations. What Linux does well. For many people, Linux already does everything they need. If your day consists of browsing the web, checking the email, watching YouTube, streaming movies, managing photos, writing documents, or paying bills online, well, Linux handles a lot of those tasks extremely well. I run this YouTube channel using Linux, so I'm able to create images, screen record, video edit, write scripts, record audio for voiceovers, all without any issues. You'll find all of the major web browsers available on Linux, including Firefox, Chrome, Brave, Vivaldi, and even Microsoft Edge. Need email? There are excellent options like Thunderbird and Evolution. If you write documents, you'll find office suites like LibreOffice and OnlyOffice, both of which are familiar to many people coming from Microsoft Office. If you enjoy writing in Markdown like I do, there are plenty of excellent editors available as well. For programming and web development, Linux is one of the strongest platforms available. I personally use Visual Studio Code, and that seems to work the best for my needs. But there are many other excellent editors depending on your workflow. Linux also has an impressive collection of creative software. Need to edit photos? There's GIMP and Darktable. GIMP is somewhat similar to Photoshop, and Darktable is similar to Lightroom. Vector graphics, Inkscape. Desktop publishing, Scribus. Video editing, I edit every Matching Brackets video using Kdenlive. Astronomy, Stellarium. Genealogy, Gramps. The point isn't that Linux has one replacement for every Windows application. The point is that Linux has an entire ecosystem of software built around different ways of getting the job done. Where Linux still has compromises. Now let's talk about the other side of the conversation. Linux isn't perfect. It still has compromises, but most of those compromises aren't because Linux itself is incapable. They're usually the result of software companies deciding where they want to support their products. Probably the biggest example is professional software. Applications like Microsoft Office, Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and many Autodesk products simply don't have native Linux versions. That doesn't mean that Linux users are left with nothing. There are alternatives like LibreOffice, GIMP, Inkscape, DaVinci Resolve, FreeCAD, and many others. The question isn't whether alternatives exist. The real question is whether those alternatives fit your workflow. If you spent 10 years mastering Photoshop, switching to GIMP isn't just learning new menus, it's learning a different way of working. For some people, that's no problem. For others, that might not be practical. Neither answer is wrong. Another compromise is hardware compatibility. Linux supports an incredible amount of hardware, but not every manufacturer gives Linux the same level of attention that they give Windows. Most computers work beautifully. Occasionally, though, you may run into issues with Wi-Fi adapters, fingerprint readers, power management, or other specialized hardware. This is why doing a little research before switching can save you a lot of frustration. Finally, there's the learning curve. Linux is not Windows with a different logo. You'll encounter different software installation methods, different desktop environments, different file systems, and sometimes even different ways of thinking about everyday tasks. The good news is that you don't need to learn everything on day one. Most beginners can get started without ever opening a terminal window. The important thing is simply being willing to learn and willing to learn something new. Can Linux replace your software? Now this brings us to an important question. If you're coming from Windows, what software do you use every day? Because that's the real question you need to answer before switching to Linux. Don't ask, does Linux have Photoshop? Ask, what do I actually use Photoshop for? Do you need every advanced feature Photoshop provides? Or do you need to edit photos, resize images, remove backgrounds, or create graphics? The answer matters, because we spend years using powerful software when we only use a small portion of what it can actually do. When I switched to Linux, I had to make some changes. I used LibreOffice Writer instead of Microsoft Word. I used GIMP instead of Photoshop. I used Kdenlive instead of Adobe Premiere. Was everything exactly the same? No. But did these programs allow me to accomplish what I needed to accomplish? Yes. And that's the important distinction. The goal isn't always to find an identical replacement. The goal is to find a tool to help you accomplish what you need to do. For many people, the transition is easier than they expect. Web browsing? Yeah, you probably won't notice much of a difference. Office work? Most home users will be perfectly fine. People who depend on advanced Excel features, macros, or even special formatting should test their workflow first. Image editing? Linux has capable tools. Professional Photoshop users may need to carefully consider their workflow. Video editing? Absolutely possible. But your hardware and workflow are going to matter. Screen recording? OBS Studio works very well on Linux. Programming and development? Well, this is actually one of Linux's strongest areas. The important thing is not whether Linux has the exact same applications you used before. The important question is whether Linux has the tools you need to accomplish for your goals. What about gaming? This is probably one of the biggest questions people have before trying Linux. The good news is that gaming on Linux has improved tremendously over the several years. But better does not mean identical. Let's answer some common questions. Can you use Steam? Yes, absolutely. Many games work very well through Steam, especially with a technology called Proton. Proton is a compatibility layer that allows many Windows games to run on Linux. Will every game work? No. Some multiplayer games use anti-cheat systems that don't support Linux. Some games depend on launchers that may not work perfectly, and brand new releases may have issues when they first come out. Before switching, make a list of the games you play the most and check them out. Look up those specific titles. Resources like ProtonDB, Steam, and anti-cheat compatibility lists can help you understand what to expect. Don't ask, can Linux play games? Ask, can Linux play my games? That's the question that matters. There are also tools like Lutris that can help manage games from different sources outside of Steam. Think of Steam as the bookstore, but Lutris is more like a bookshelf that helps you organize games that you've collected from different places. You probably don't need Lutris on day one, but it's another example of how Linux gaming has grown. Who should consider Linux? So who is Linux a good fit for? First, people who are curious. If you enjoy learning things and experimenting, Linux can be a very rewarding experience. People who mainly use a web browser will often find Linux works extremely well too. If your computer use consists mostly of browsing the web, email, streaming, social media, online banking, then Linux can probably handle everything you need. Students may also find that Linux works well depending on their school's computer requirements. Many students need a browser, office software, PDF tools, programming tools, and Linux can provide all of these. Developers and programmers have long used Linux because of its flexibility and powerful development tools. And no, you do not need to code to learn how to use Linux. That's a common misconception. People who value privacy and have more control over their computers often appreciate Linux as well. Finally, Linux can be a great option for older computers. Many Linux distributions can breathe new life into hardware that struggles with newer versions of Windows. My younger brother still has his first laptop that he bought with his own money, and that computer is over 20 years old. It originally came with Windows, but it can't support Windows 11. Could Linux run on it? Probably, but I need to do more research first. Would the hardware work? Probably. How about modern browsers? Would they run well? That might be a sticky point. Would it provide a good experience? Probably not. Those are the questions that need to be answered. Who should wait? Now let's talk about who might want to wait before switching. First, anyone who absolutely depends on one specific Windows application. If your job depends on saying, I must use this exact program, then do some research first. Sometimes that program works on Linux and sometimes it doesn't. The same applies to professionals with specialized workflows. If your income depends on Adobe Creative Cloud, AutoCAD, or industry-specific software, make sure Linux fits your needs before making the move. Competitive multiplayer gamers should also check compatibility before switching, especially if their favorite games depend on anti-cheat systems. And finally, people who expect Linux to work exactly like Windows should adjust their expectations. This isn't a criticism. Every operating system has a learning curve. Windows works differently than Mac OS. Mac OS works differently than Linux. Linux is its own thing. When you install Linux, you're not just installing a different program. You're changing the operating system of that computer is built around. That means doing a little research beforehand can make the experience much smoother. When I installed Linux on one of my Asus laptops, I discovered that the Wi-Fi card wasn't supported by Linux. So I had a choice. I could either go back to Windows or I could find a solution. I found a compatible Wi-Fi card for about $20. I watched a tutorial on how to replace the Wi-Fi card, cracked open my laptop, and replaced the card on my own, and I successfully installed Linux. I had never done anything like that before. Now, I don't tell this story because I think everybody should replace their hardware. Most people won't have to do anything like this. I tell it because it shows the importance of being willing to troubleshoot. Linux rewarded my willingness to learn. Now I know how to change a Wi-Fi card. Level up. Linux isn't for everyone, and that's okay. But Linux is more for people than they realize. The goal here isn't to convince you to leave Windows. The goal is to help you to understand whether Linux fits the way you use your computer. And the only person who's really going to be able to answer that is you. So do your research. Look at the software you depend on. Look at the games you play. Look at your hardware. And then make the decision that works best for you. And if you're curious, a lot of Linux apps are written for Windows and Mac as well. So you could try Linux apps on your computer without even switching. All free to download today. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope it's earned your like, your comment, and your subscription. But that's going to be all for me for today. Until next time, take care.
Keeps drifting into memory. Something long gone keeps on coming. Keeps on coming back to me. My heart is hung up on what you